Hello, it's me again. Today's lesson is all about cartography. This is how you spell it. Cartography. It's the art of drawing maps. So this is a map that's come from the illustrations of the C.S. Lewis books, the Narnia books. So this is a map that's been drawn of Narnia. So when you look at the features on the map, you can see that there is water, called the Silver Sea. On the water, there are boats and whales and various islands and a sea serpent. There is a banner that tells you that this is a map about Narnia. And then there's a landmass. And on the landmass, you can see there's some mountains and some rivers. We don't need anybody to say that this means a mountain. We can tell by looking at it that it's a picture of a mountain. So it makes complete sense. And the other thing it has is a compass, because maps are virtually always orientated so that their north is at the top and the south is at the bottom. So the compass points are marked on there. And you can tell it's the sea because there's some lines that indicate that it's the sea. So that's one Narnia map. This is another one. This is a little bit harder to see because there's a little bit of water here, but mostly it's on land. You can see the land is broken up into sections, probably by rivers or streams. There's more mountains. There's a banner again. You can see, if you look really carefully on this one, you can see the area called the Lantern Waste, which is the area where the children come in through the wardrobe in Narnia. And there's the wardrobe, look. And there's the lamppost, and here's the forest, which they call the Western Woods. So you can see the trees here. The Witch's Castle is up here. So this is a great map to do. The Witch's Camp is here. And then there's various mountains and forests. Aslan's camp is there. The Northern Marsh is there. And then again, there's a compass and the water. And this part's called Arkinland. You can see another castle there. I can't really read what that says from here, but you might be able to. I like the way that also there's a lion, which is obviously Aslan up here, and a nice design going around the edge. That makes that map look quite interesting. So if you want to get inspiration when you're doing your map from something, then this might be a good one to look at because it's got lots of things on that you might like to include in your map. This one should be this way around. I'm going to come out a bit so you can see better. So this says the wild lands of the north of Narnia. I really like this picture of Aslan here. You can see quite clearly that this part is land and this part is water. There's a tent imagery there, and then lots of mountains in the background. Okay. And here's another one, the Wildlands of the North. This one doesn't have any colour on it, so you don't necessarily have to add colour on yours, but you can if you would want to. And again, you can see that this part's the water. There's Cair Paravel. There's the compass point. You can see a sea serpent there and a boat here. And this says a map of Narnia and other lands. There's the Lantern Waste again that we saw on the first map. There's a castle and the river, Aslan's How, the dancing lawn, various different things. So you're going to make your... Oh, there's a dragon there, look. Breathing fire. That's quite fun if you wanted to include a dragon on yours. So we're going to make our own Narnia maps. And I wanted to show you these because these are maps that my children, my year fours, did a few years ago when I was teaching this topic. So this is a map of Narnia. So you can see that this person has got the land on the outside and the water on the inside. He's got mountains here. He's got his compass point. He's got his banner that says Narnia. He's got the lamppost here. a castle and a tent. So that's quite interesting. And in the water, there's a sea serpent and a whale and a boat. This is another one that was done by one of my children. The compass is there. It's got the banner that says Narnia. Different areas have been broken up and coloured in different colours to indicate the differences. The castle's got a lot of detail on there. And I like the various tents and the forest. Looks really good. And pirates over here. And then this is another one. Now this person divided her Narnia map into earth, water, cloud and fire, with a bit of a desert here in the middle. And she's got a great lion picture there. So we're going to make our own Narnia map. So I'm going to use this one mostly for the detail, the one that's got the lantern waist. I have drawn a few ideas. This is called a legend, which is what cartographers call the symbols that they use to show various things on the maps. So this is how you might draw mountains on your map. This is how you might do a tree grove or a forest. This one I was thinking, if you wanted to do the trees without them being green, you could just do like a Y-shaped tree. This is how to do hills, desert, grassland, water. And I've done the little lamppost there because that might be something you want to put on. But the first thing that you need to do is to divide your paper up into land and water. So on this one, there's just a bit of water there and a lot of land here. On this one, water is the most of it with just a small amount of land. So you need to decide how much land and how much water you need to have. And when you draw the land, it's never a smooth shape. It's always a bit jagged. It's what you would call an organic shape because it's been formed by various things. So it might have bits that go in and bits that come out and bits that go around this way. So I'm going to divide this up. So this part is the land and this part is the water. But you could do it either way. This could be the land and this could be the water. In fact, I'm going to do it that way because I think the land's more. No, it looks quite even. Doesn't really make any difference. Or you could do it in a completely different way. Sorry about this. Where you have your land like an island in the middle. But like a treasure island type thing. But maybe going off on one corner so that you can see it goes off. So you've done like a peninsula of land. So this part round here is water. And this part is a peninsula sticking out. It could be part of Narnia. So you need to decide what kind of land and water you want to do. But it's important to decide straight away which part is the land and which part is the water. So in order to show in this one that this is the water, I'm going to put a few little marks, just a little wavy line that show that's the water. And then I might decide that I want to put some water actually on my peninsula. So there might be a lake here. So that's water. So I could put that on. And then there might be a stream that runs from the lake that goes to the sea. It goes this way. And then I can start adding details onto my map. So I've got a few details down on my map. I've put the lantern waist area here. I've put the Queen's Castle here, or the White Witch, really. She's not really a queen, is she? And I've put a bit of forest here. I've put a sandy beach there and a boat and a whale in the water. So I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So one of the things I'm going to show you how to do is how to make a compass point, or a compass rose it's called. You start with a circle and then put a point in the 4 different directions and then little points in between. Okay, and that bit there is north, south, east and west. When I was little, we used to say never eat shredded wheat to learn the way that they went round. And to make it look more professional, go over the lines that you've done with a triangle. And that looks rather nice. And the other thing that I want to show you how to do is how to make a banner. So if you're going to put Narnia in your banner, you need to make sure that your banner is going to be big enough for you to fit the word in. So you might want to have a little practice of that first before you actually do it on your map. But to do the banner, you might do something like a wavy line like that. It comes down, and then a line that goes like that. It's a bit like a W, isn't it? And then write. You could do it in capital letters or small letters or bubble writing. And then if you wanted to do a picture of a lion on your map, like one of my children did, and like this one on the C.S. Lewis illustration, then to draw a lion, have a little practice of this off your map first before you put it on. But I think I might put my lion down here. So start with a triangle for his nose, and then up here like that, and then the eyes, which sort of go a bit like this, and then that comes down there like that. And ears, don't forget ears, which are about there. And then an amazing mane around. So that indicates Aslan. And you could do Aslan's camp, which would be like little tents. So you might draw them something like this. Maybe they'd have stripes on. And a flag on the top to indicate where they were. So that's the basic drawing of the map. You can add a lot more onto yours and think about extra detail that you would like to do. And then if you want to add colour, because I've drawn it using a black felt pen, well actually I've used a Sharpie. If you use a Sharpie, make sure you put a piece of paper underneath your paper because it will go through onto any surface behind. Or you could just use a black writing pen, or you could use a black felt tip. I wouldn't spend hours and hours drawing all these fine details with pencil and then go over it in pen. I would just do it like that. And then if you want to add some colour, don't need to colour every little bit of it, but if you want to add some colour to just make it just look a bit more interesting, just spend a little bit of time using the coloured pencils. So I've finished adding a little bit of colour to my map. I haven't spent ages colouring things in really carefully, but just giving it a bit of an indication of colour by colouring in really lightly. I haven't put loads of details on my map. You can add a lot more to yours. You can make bigger forest areas here. You could maybe even add some people, more different tents here. Put more things in the sea, maybe like a sea serpent. Just think about, lots of your own ideas. You can pause the video on this map to look for more ideas if that will help you. Don't forget to do a banner and a compass on your map. and think about if you meet the learning objectives for today's lesson. So what we need to do is to draw a map featuring land and water, add cartography details such as mountains and forest, and use cartography to link with the story of the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. So I hope you have lots of fun making your maps. Take your time with it. Think about what fun things you could add in. Maybe you could put some of the statues around the White Witch's castle. Anything else that comes in the story, like Mr. Tumnus's house, you could put in, the beaver's house, different places that you know from the story. See if you can add them in. They don't need to be in exactly the right place where C.S. Lewis might have thought they were going to be. They can just be, you know, wherever they are in your imagination. So use your imagination. Practice doing the compass on a piece of paper first. Practice doing the banner on a piece of paper first. Maybe practice drawing a castle and drawing a lion on a separate piece of paper. And then when you've tried out a few different ideas and maybe made a little plan of what your map is going to be, then start to draw it. So draw it with a felt tip pen or a Sharpie, and then add some colour to it. Have fun, Year 4.